Okay, we're going to do some reflections now. Reflections and dilations are both about distance. Reflections, all of this is about, you can talk about how they're different about distances, but reflections are also about distance, but their distance never changes. So if I'm going to reflect over the x-axis, which this calls for, it's like it's a mirror. So this distance stays the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Now, if I was doing the y-axis, I'd do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And if I was doing some non-axis point thing, it's still about straight line distance. So if you were doing it like over here at 2, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other side. Reflections are about maintaining distance from the line of reflection. All right, now this is probably the hardest one when you talk about distance because it's not going to be a horizontal or vertical line, so it's a little harder to do. But it's still the idea of distance. It's just not, we're not going to talk about straight line distance, much like we do with dilations. We're going to talk about vector distance. So there's my first guess. Well, that's 2 down, 1 over. That's 3 straight over. That can't be the right one. Okay, so that's not going to be. So I'm going to try this one. That's 1 down, 2 over, 1 down, 2 over. Okay, so that's the same distance. Now, it's the same straight line distance, which happens to be the square root of 5. But what we're using vector distance. So that is definitely 1 down, 2 over. It's another 1 down, 2 over. So now again, we're going to try to do it with A. So I'm going to pick a point right there. Let's just pick this one. Okay, so again, 3 over straight, but this is 1 down, 2 over. That's not the same distance. If I go here, that's 2 over, 1 down, 2 over, 1 down. I get the same vector difference. So the vector matches. That's going to be my line of symmetry as long as, so again, if you go to point D, like, okay, so 1, 2, 3, well, D's in a bad spot. How about point C? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you go to this one, you go 1, 2 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 over. So it's 2 down, 4 over, 2 down, 4 over. It's the same vector distance. That's going to be that same line of symmetry. All right, that's reflections.